So you want to play a powerful deck in Brawl or Commander, but don't have a single rare or mythic wildcard to your name? Well, fear not, for today's brew doesn't need a single one to be strong, and it's Imoti. This card has Cascade, which we do love on the channel, but also gives all your other cards that cost 6 or more Cascade. This can lead to some truly broken interactions that we're going to showcase today. But before you spend wildcards on this deck, there's a caveat for the deck building that I'll get onto, so please watch the video to the end. The deck list is, well, relatively simple, but it has one key distinction to make it work. See, our game plan is simple. Ramp into big boys, cast big boys, and win. Therefore, when we cast Imoti, we want to help that game plan, not cast a random value card, removal, or protection spell. Sorry, Tamio safekeeping. So every single card that costs 4 or less in the deck is going to ramp us. Yup, we want to know if we cast Imoti, we ramp. Our deck needs to work to a game plan and our commander needs to support this. All the 1 cost mana ramp in the deck is staple, as with another ramp spell it can lead to an early turn 3 Imoti. But we don't have that many at 2 mana. If we ramp on turn 2 we still can't get Imoti out on turn 3, so to lead to more powerful cascades we're only playing 2 drops that either ramp really well or offer some other utilities such as Graveyard Hate, and then playing as many powerful 3 mana ramp spells as possible. We want spells that generate card advantage such as Llanowar Visionary and Cultivate, or things that ramp multiple times such as Somber Walled Sage. We also appreciate any ramp on a body thanks to our emerge creatures that we'll see in a little bit. Another way of making our cascades better is by making our ramp spells have a high mana value while actually being cheeky about it. If we look at cards like Greater Tanuki and Beanstalk Giant, we can cast them for 3 mana to ramp ourselves towards Imoti, but when they come up on a cascade, we're only going to have the option to cast the bigger end. Meaning, instead of a ramp spell, we're going to get something that can kill our opponents. Oh, and I said without a ramp spell, but because these all cost over 6, you're going to get to cascade into a ramp spell anyway. Once we've assembled this force of ramp, it's only our beefy boys remaining. Any interaction needs to be staked onto something that costs 5 or more mana, such as Cleanup Crew. The uncommon and common mana value 6 and higher cards aren't nearly as good as the ramp options, so we're playing some underwhelming cards, but also some truly disgusting options. Straight from Innistrad, the emerge mechanic is one we can absolutely abuse, as if we sacrifice a 5 mana card, we get to cast a 7 mana spell for 1 mana and then cascade off 7 mana again. Sadly, some of the emerge cards didn't make their way to Arena, but these can give a big power boost. There are, however, similar effects that we want to abuse. Cryptic Serpent and Tolarian Teller both cost less when we cast a few instant or sorceries, though admittedly we don't have many, but retain their mana value of 7, leading to some explosive turns. We can also play the 2 Convoke cards from March of the Machine, which retain their mana value of 6, regardless of how much mana we actually spend. If we cast 2 6-drops in one turn, we're generally set up very well. Mind control effects are also very strong in this deck, so cards like Imbolus's Clutches are a must. The idea is, even if our card quality is low, we can overwhelm our opponents with sheer number of cards, and I'll be uploading a video soon showcasing the gameplay, so be sure to subscribe. But it's time for the caveat, because I haven't talked much about individual cards. Play the best ramp you have access to and the best big boys, and I have a deck list in the description if you want the best place to start. But see, even your common and uncommon wildcards aren't something you might want to waste on cards like this. See, this is fine, but if you compare it to, say, Titan of Industry, that you might already have in your collection from Explorer or Draft, it's a bit laughable. If you want to play a no-rare deck for the fun of it, this deck is a great excuse to look at your collection once again and see what kind of power you've got, or just, again, craft the deck list I provided. But if you just sort by mana value 6 and higher in green and blue, most of the rare creatures you found are probably an upgrade over most of the commons and uncommons in the current build. You'll still want the emerge cards, the mind controls, the things that have cost reduction, any convoke cards, and the mana ramp cards of a sneaky high mana value. But that Zahir Djinn of the Lamp you'd never play in a million years in any other deck that you just happened to draft 2 years ago? It's better than most of the 6-drops in this list, and when it cascades it becomes a lot better. So rather than copying this deck list and playing it, I urge you to copy it, but before you click craft all, go through your collection, find any improvements you can, and play a deck that's unique to you while, yes, still not requiring a single wildcard. It's not clickbait. If you do want to spend some wildcards, a few can go quite a long way, such as the other emerge cards, like Elder Deep Fiend is nutty in this deck, but I'll save a souped up non-budget list for another video. If you want to see it, let me know in the comments below. But either way, stay tuned for gameplay, and I hope you enjoy this unorthodox structure to a deck tech. When it comes to 100 card formats, the approach to your deck building can be as important as the cards itself. Stick to the rule of only ramp cards under 4 CMC, sorry Tireless Tracker, and you'll be winning games in no time. Thanks for watching, and until next time. Okay, that's a very good one. We gain some life, we draw a card, and we're going to cascade again. This is the beauty of Imoti. Now we cast this, we get another blocker, we get to cascade again. We get another blocker. Okay, none of this has haste.